Tonight's video is about why you should train your triads musically. So this came from a comment from someone who was asked a few questions actually. And in this case, he said, if you already know your triads, right, how can I go from playing triads and not sounding musical when I'm playing over something? Really, it's important to define music here, right? And in terms of playing over a track, music is really going to be more about the notes you want and rhythm, establishing rhythm. You need to have both right notes and right rhythm, if you will. Well, one that meets your preferences. That's the only way we're going to define musical, because it's a very polarizing term. And there really is no true objective truth to what musical is. So just whatever your preferences are. So yeah, you want to be hitting notes that match your preferences. If you're playing triads, you're playing very consonantly, you're getting the chord tones. And then if you're also playing rhythms of those chord tones, then you're feeling like you're playing musical. If for any reason when you're playing and you're not feeling musical, you're out of sync with either one of those, or it could be both. But generally, it's either one. First, if you don't know your notes very well and you can't keep track of the changes and how that maps to the fretboard, that's usually where people feel unmusical right away. But once you have that, then it's just about aligning with the time. So I already made a video earlier this week about when to play, and so playing on the beat or around the beat, right? And so you do either or and just, expect it and make it feel good to you. So we got another track lined up today. And the point here is just triads, right? And maybe even less than that. I was even just doing some stuff before, just like single chord tones. So let's just do a little bit and sort of walk it through. So let's say I go. Right, so I played a non-chord tone. I played the F sharp. It's an E minor chord, and E, G, B are the chord tones. So I went G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, and it gave it a sense of melody. So if you just know, right, just the E and the G, those are the chord tones. Sure. Now let's say I go. Sounds on the G and the A there. Right, just the chord tones. Let's do the C chord. Let's do the D chord. C chord. It's funny because the track says one thing, but I'm just sort of not hearing all the chords I'm seeing. That's all right, just using the ear at this point. But the idea is the rhythm has to be there, right? So let me go a little further and do some things where I feel like I establish rhythm. This gets me to feel like a musical. Again, all I can talk about is my own experience with this. Again, you'll have to meet your preferences, whatever that is, right? My preferences are pretty clear for me. I've been playing with them a long time and developing them and enjoying them, and that's the most important part. So I would say you can equate musically or musicality to, are you enjoying yourself? Okay. This is more like a lead. So there was one phrase, right, without sort of running scales around a lot. I know that's pretty controversial, and I get a lot of people mad for some reason when I do that. But, in relation to the people that I really looked up to, and still do, in my playing, that's a par for the course, right? So again, that matches with my preference. That's the most important part. I never want my students to play like me. I think a lot of people get really stuck on if they're learning from someone that they should play like them. No. What I want for my students to think for themselves, to find their own preferences, but more importantly than that, discover why they have their own or why their preferences are those preferences, right? When you actually answer the question of why, not what the preferences are, not speed, but why speed excites you if it does, or why speed doesn't excite you, right? What excites you instead, or what makes you feel good instead, right? That then gets you to become the artist that you want to be. You can't become the artist if you have no idea what you like. And I will say, because I'm starting to go on a rant, but I'm feeling fired up, right? If any of your responses are what are your preferences? Well, I don't like this and I don't like shredding. You are wasting your time. You are absolutely wasting your time. You can't act on I don't like or I don't want. You can only act on I want or I like. You have to choose a side to be an artist, because art in itself is controversial, right? You take a stand for something, for some aspect as an artist, right? Whatever it is. And there's always going to be a sort of opposite side to that, an opposite viewpoint, right? And really just sort of a binary approach, an opposite viewpoint about what that is. So if you know your notes, great, and you're playing them over the track, even better. But if you're not meeting your own preferences, then you are always going to feel unmusical. Then anything anybody tells you to do, like play these notes or play this scale or hold this or whatever, is never going to feel genuine. And what you're really looking for, if you want to sound musical, is you want to feel like an artist. And the only way to feel like an artist is to create. And the only way to create is to take the risk to create. If you don't take the risk, you don't ever get the rewards on the other side, right? Last night I did a G minor playthrough, and I had someone who rudely commented, I don't know how to feel about this. Some notes weren't there, right? The only ones I know that I played is I played an A flat because I was trying a Phrygian thing and I didn't like it, so I just let that one go. And I accidentally played an E natural. Out of all the notes I played, right, I accidentally played an E natural. And then I tried to make it work. I did sort of something one of my teachers say. It's like, if you play a wrong note, play it a lot more. It seems more intentional. But I did a little melodic minor ascension, right? So I know what I did. I studied what I did. And it's important then to go, well, how does that align with my artistry, right? What do I want to keep from that? The whole point is decide what you like and go after it unabashedly. And don't be afraid to mess up a lot. Mess up constantly, because your preferences and your standards are at a certain place and you must meet them. If you do not meet them, you will not feel musical. And like I said, we have to take a lot of risk to do that. Now, you don't have to do it like me, and you don't have to do it while you're recording and posting it out to the world. You could do it on your own, but however you do it, you have to do it. Otherwise, you will not feel musical. So hopefully this was very insightful. Hopefully this gets you to take a look at your own playing and go, it's not about what to touch or even when to play, but it's about what I want to make, and it's about what I want to feel when I make it. So if you're having trouble feeling that, if you're having trouble putting everything together so that way it is actually an experience you want to have, please feel free to message me. I'd love to help you out. Thank you. Have a great night.